All right, here we are at the end. 3.5 years. It's a long time, guys. It's a long time. Kind of choked up. Feels. Whew. Well, I went ahead and I did the prep I needed to do earlier today. Just because I didn't want something to go wrong and not have the prep done. So I just knocked it out right after Curse of Strahd this morning. So, but yeah, it's done. And here we are. Oof, man. I don't really know what to say. It's very it's very bittersweet for sure. Let me see. Watch on YouTube, videos, edit on YouTube. There we go. Alright, so 4 years ago is what it says was our session 0. 4 years ago. Wow, that dude is way skinnier than I am now. Holy shit. Let's see. What is the date? Like, where would it be listed? I don't even know. Let's see. Yeah, man. It's just me feeling sad, I think. That's the rest of our prep. Gosh. It says 4 years ago. 4 years? That's crazy. That can't be right. Yeah.
So, I'll be honest, I don't think in 27 years I've ever actually done a session 0.
Alright. Well,
This is my first one too. Yeah.
do they have any indication of when I publish this? Jeez. I guess it doesn't really matter. Huh. It just says 4 years ago. Give me the actual date. There we go. October 6th, 2020. So this started like during the pandemic. Wow. Okay. Alexa, how many years and months and days has it been since October 6th, 2020? Are you not?
But there are actual session 0 guides, so I was gonna follow one of these session 0 guides and see if that
1,370 days. Oh my god. Okay.
No, it's happening right now. Yeah.
So that's 3.75 years. Oh my god. Oof. Oof. All right. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. They've done. I feel bad because 3.75 years and they never even made it to level 20. I don't know. They just never chased down or hit those milestones, you know? Like they had the same milestones as Prime, and it's just like I don't know. They just took their time, you know what I'm saying? And like then when time sort of took them, that was I don't know. Oof. Oh man. just give them 20th level. Yeah, fuck you, dude. I'm not gonna give them 20th level. That's the dumbest shit. Nothing in this campaign has been free. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know that they didn't get level 20. I'm not gonna just give them level 20. No way. They don't deserve it. They didn't hit the milestones. That's ridiculous. Like, if you don't do your job, you shouldn't get paid. Like, I feel bad that they didn't do it, but I'm not gonna like roll over and give them 4 levels tonight. It's just not how. That's just How much 5e do I got left? Man, I got this game. I've got maybe 5 or 6 sessions of Curse of Strahd Daybreak, and then God only knows how many sessions of Curse of Strahd Classic. I would say less than. I'd say less than 12. Yeah, 12. I'd say 12 more sessions of Classic. Pretty much. Yeah. Man. Because I'll probably Deus Ex Machina or whatever the Classic group, and we'll sort of like speed through the rest of the content. I'm probably gonna have in. Yeah. I don't want to spoil anything from that campaign, but I have some ideas to sort of move that one along. But man, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just flabbergasted. Like, I don't know. Ugh, give him level 20. Wah. The milestones were there. Like, the goals were there. Their obligations were there. Their responsibilities were there. They just didn't. They didn't chase them down. They didn't do the things they needed to do. I mean, Prime did, and in less time. That's weird. Yeah, that's true. You guys, yeah, Classic Group is definitely has definitely had enough, I think, of Ravenloft. So we're gonna fast track them to the end, I think. I've had enough of Ravenloft, that's for sure. Well, now one thing that I had considered to get them to level 20. Hear me out, Scottrick. This is actually something that I was kicking around with my kid, because, you know, we talk about the game. There's 2 sets of Heroes of Prophecy. So, like, what if the other set of heroes was absorbed by these heroes, and then that's that kind of thing? I feel like that could kind of justify it, but then they didn't know about it ahead of time, so then the whole session is going to be like, okay guys, level yourself up to 20, and then they got to level up 4 times. I don't know. It seems like a lot. So, alright, what we do need to talk about is, what are the stakes here? Obviously they're going into this fight underpowered, underleveled, not qualified for the work. Kind of sums up Mythic the whole time, that they're just regular ass dudes. They're Netflix Daredevil, just getting their ass beat up and down the hallway, but they never give up and they never surrender, and they just crawl back up, and I think that's what I love most about them. I am very sad that we don't have Sibo for the last couple sessions. I went and talked to him directly, like, and said, hey, there's maybe 2 sessions left, but there was no answer. So unfortunately, that is that. I think when Sibo left the group, it was like a real wake-up call for all of us, because we realized like how long we had been playing. Because, like, in my opinion, Sibo's wife and family are completely justified in being like, bro, you said this game was going to take like 2 or 3 years. It's well past 3 years. Like, we need you to come back to the real world. Like that was the agreement, right? Is you're going to play in this game. It's a big game. I mean, guy had to pull his application for Curse of Strahd. He had to pull his application for Kingmaker. You know, like he was at his limit. He was at his limit. But I do feel, even though he was sort of our Ashley Johnson, and like his attendance wasn't great, like he brought like an energy to the team, just like Ashley Johnson does for Crit Roll, that like, I don't know, I feel like it lifted things up quite a bit. And you feel it. You feel that absence at the table. He was like a big personality and a fun guy. And so like, we lost him at a time when I think we needed that fun and that attitude, you know? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's crazy. That was a discussion on the server today on the Pathfinder channel about like, you know, how to run a game fast versus, you know, what makes a game fast versus what makes a game slow, and the energy at the table is like a big part, I think, of what makes the game move fast or slow. And I just feel like from the very beginning, this game has been like a laid back like experience, you know? It's like, we're here to develop these characters, to see the world, to learn about the world that we're supposed to protect, to be a part of that world. And now here we are at the end. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, what are we gonna do now? And yeah, I think that this campaign took some very interesting twists and turns. I think, in my opinion, I think it's better for it. I don't know. I got a lot of mixed feels about this this campaign ending. Like, I'm glad it's ending. I can feel it every week that we like the characters and we like each other and we like the world, but I think we're all really tired. I think we're all really tired, and I don't know. I don't know if we're ready to move on without each other, but I definitely feel like we're ready to move on to another story. So yeah, it hits kind of hard. And that whole like, there is and there was more to do. Like, there's a lot of content on the cutting room floor for this campaign, but they also did like so much during this campaign. Like, they did everything. And yet somehow they still didn't do all the things. Yeah. Oh yeah, and like 5e high level play, it's draining. It's not just draining on the DM. It's very draining on the DM, but it's also just draining on the players, you know? Creating exciting encounters that don't get away from you. Honestly, I think it was simply the builds of the characters were split apart in its length. Prime was built for action, and Mythic was built for RP, since the difference in strength was pretty obvious. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, like, that, like, Prime, I even told Prime before the game started, I was like, please don't build super strong characters. Like, please build the kind of characters you want to build, and then we'll see what happens. But, man. Yeah. Like, I love this group, right? And I love the decisions that they've made. I love the things that they've done. These characters are so real to me. Dom is not Maya. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Maya is Maya. Orin is not Will, right? Like, Orin is Orin. Julian is definitely not David. Julian is Julian. And, like, I don't know. you feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like you feel it. God. But I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. We've got 30 minutes till the game starts. All right. So, man, I kind of want to retrace the steps a little bit. So we had our session 0, and it was a beefy session 0. It was almost 4 hours, the session 0, because we talked a lot about the world, the religions of the world, the histories of the world, the false histories of the world, the themes of the campaign. They rolled up into their first session where they met up. They went hunting the boar, ended that first session fighting some goatlings in the woods, in like a stream. Epilogue's ready. I'm gonna be honest. I think I know this campaign well enough that I just know the epilogues. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't need to write them ahead of time. I don't need a robot to help me with this one. Like I know this campaign. I know these characters. I know this world. I mean, I'm just going to base it on whatever the players say. I'm just going to know, like, that this is what happened the other way. So, yeah. But, man, Super Soldier outside the Temple of the Oracle. Just so much happened. So much. It's crazy. The evil elevator. The absolutely brutal fight against the Cerberus. The maze. Oh, God. Xander's test in the maze. That was rough. Oh, my God. Our meandering overland travel. Getting to Mitros. All that shit in the... Oh, man. The vineyard. The Lady of Coin. The time that Julian died to, like, gangsters. Oh, man, because he got in over his head. Gangsters. Like, there's so much that happened in this campaign that isn't in the adventure. It isn't in Odyssey Prime. I mean, it truly was, like, an Odyssey. Yeah. Whew. Man. Oh, then there was this brutal fight against the siblings. Man, they headed out. They fought Esther. Whew. Just. Then they picked up Nessa. They met the Lotus Witch. Headed over to Aresia. They were in Aresia for a while. Then they stole Narcissus. Then they headed over to... Where do they go next? Oh, yeah. They headed over to the Golden Heart. Whew. Then they tried to fight the Chimera Queen. That was bonkers. They headed home. The king tried to get them killed in a crazy spectacle. Teamed up with Lutheria for it. She was using it as a testing ground. He was using it as execution ground. Then they headed over to Indigo Island. And Indigo Island, they like lived there for a while. They were at Indigo Island for a long time. Fire Island. Fire Island was probably one of the hypest things that happened. It's definitely one of the I think Fire Island was one of the highest notes of the campaign for sure. Was Fire Island? They were all bringing some real A+ game to Fire Island. Oh man! And then we had the False Hydra. That was crazy. And the role-playing event. Oh man, they did so good. They proved to me that they were like some of the best, if not the best, role players I'd ever played with. That I ever shared a table with. So good. Oh, man. Then Orin leaves. Then they bring in someone new who happens to be Narcissus. They head on over to Themis. Themis seems like it's going really well, and then they spend 4 fucking weeks fighting one Hydra. They could have just left. They could have left the Hydra, but they couldn't. They couldn't let go. They couldn't let go. That's crazy. Oh, man. Yeah, Themis was like a big arc. And it makes sense, because we had an exiled one. You know, so it made sense that we were there for a while. Heading over to the Fates. Got their buttholes punched in. Refused to negotiate. Refused diplomacy. Despised the Fates. That was when I think they planted the seeds for me of the Fates being a very big part of the campaign. And then for like the rest of the campaign, they always talked about going back to fight the Fates, and then they never did. I kept pulling the Fates back out of storage, and I'd rewatch the episode, and I'd be like, all right, I'm ready. And they'd be like, yeah, never mind, we're going to go somewhere else. Then they picked up Kyra, who died. They went and grabbed the Pearl of the Morning. Oh, man. Yonder Infiltration was pretty hype. That was a good run. I enjoyed that one. Then they went and they played Dungeons & Dragons with the Lotus Witch. Because why not? Because why not? Incredible. Then they went back to Themis to beat up the Hydra that they eventually gave up on. Amazing. So technically they fought that fucking Hydra for 6 sessions, I think. I want to say 6 sessions. Maybe 5. Maybe 5. Then they had the fight against the Rocks. Then they went to the Island of Time and we played Star Wars. Because why not? And they're still using those Star Wars items to this day. Which I love. Oh, man. Then they went and freed the Scorpion King. Which I don't believe happened in Prime. No, I don't think so. Then they went over to the Garden of Helios. They didn't have a Slayer, so they had no real beef with Helios. But then they did the Isle of Gold side quest. That didn't go very well. Then Julian's dad died because the Fates killed his dad. Oh my god. Then they find the book. Like, Sibo finds the book to have a new patron, and then that new patron is Prometheus. Like, it was shaping up, like, really good. Then they head back, and they basically, like, talked Midas down. Like, they talked Midas into just basically being like, fuck it, sacrifice me to the goddess. I don't want to face my punishment for my shitty life. Man, that was fucking cool. Then they went to Typhon, which they didn't really need to go to Typhon other than to do the Titan's Bane because they didn't have a cursed one. But they went anyways. Then they went to the Isle of the Dragon, and they kind of like just sped through Isle of the Dragon because they are built for roleplay and not for combat. And they were able to just be like, hey, we're here to like, you know, we're here to chat, talk it out. Let's see. Then we had to deal with death, heading down into the Nether Seas, sneak peeking on the Apocalypse Cube. Oh man, very very cool. Working Dads was such a good episode. That was when like the baby dragons were like starting to like become corrupted by the Fates, and like nobody knew what to do about it, and then Julian and Andronikos were just struggling. Then we had our like tournament arc in the Nether Seas. Whew, man, just crazy. Then they went to Praxis, which was nuts. They got in there, they liberated all these people, and then they blew the place up. They just blew the place up. And then Kyra sacrificing her spark so that the Titans couldn't have it, and then being taken away by the Furies. And like, we never got that like rescue mission. We never got that like absolution because everything just went so off the rails. And I don't necessarily think that's bad. I just think that it's, I don't know. I feel like it just fits what they were about. I don't know. So then they go back they Q&A Helios. They find out more about the lore. They head up to Skyhold, and then they head over to the Battle of Mitros. They activate the thing. They go to save the king. They're fighting against Baby Halcyon. She sends them into the future. On the way there, they run into Hades. Hades informs them of the post-campaign shit that they would need to take care of. They end up in the future. It's not a bad future, but it's a future that they can't accept. So then they end up heading back in time to just make things so bad. Oh my god. Nah, originally when the group was going to stick together, I was just going to run these guys in Kingmaker, and I wasn't going to open up Kingmaker applications to anyone outside of Mythic. But then Will was like, I can't play Kingmaker, and then Sibo was like, I can't play Kingmaker, and then Dom was like, I don't want to play Kingmaker, and then Nathan was like, yeah, I'd rather be a Sky Pirate, and so that was kind of that. Oof. Yeah. I do like where things went with the loom being broken and just like how heavy it weighed on them, and then them being sort of pushed further and further and further along. I like the idea that their penchant for chaos was so strong that like even Lutheria was like afraid of the Heroes of Prophecy. Not because they're strong, but because they seem to like bring about terrible and immediate change to whatever they're interacting with. I don't know. They've got like that main character energy, but they don't have that anime main character strength to back it up. And so like I think they get underestimated all the time. And then I think that in the end, like, that's what kind of, like, keeps pushing the narrative forward, is, like, that these guys will not compromise, and they will not give up. I think the biggest compromise they ever made was tearing down the Tower of Praxis, and I know it wasn't an easy decision for them to make. And now, the Tower of Praxis isn't torn down. They have to live with the memory that they did do it, though. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. So anyways, so we find ourselves in an early apocalypse. The early apocalypse kind of shocks Sidon out of his sort of selfish, almost childish desire for revenge. So that was actually one of the random events that was generated with the loom being busted, was that Sidon has a change of heart, was one of the sort of random things that happened because of wild magic, essentially. Yeah. So then they head over to... Where do they go? They went to New Olympus. Yeah. And then they skipped through, like, all these boss fights. They could have fought all these guys. But, like, they didn't want to. And they honestly shouldn't have. But as soon as they skipped one, it basically became, like, impossible. Because there's no way that they could take, like, more than 2 of these gods at a time. And now they've sort of talked their way through all the way to the final boss. Like, they've bullshitted their way through. And not even bullshit, because they're being very earnest. And now they stand before... the final boss of the campaign, Raw, final boss of the extended campaign. And they got to figure out what are they going to do? What are they going to do? So, man. So we got them here. And they've entered this old temple kind of thing. It's been busted. Lutheria is getting ready to go through and kill Thylea and free everyone, in her mind, from the I don't know, the grand design of her mother's dreams. We've got the Arcane Empress, Hecate, who is just fucked up from wild magic, and the loom being, busted and everything like that. Because in addition to, fate, it also controls the weave, right? Which is like a generally accepted like magic system in 5e. So they're heading up. They're gonna confront her. They rolled they presented their persuasion. We didn't roll it, and that's gonna be the first thing we do this session. Is we're gonna do the persuasion to convince Lutheria, like, hey, don't fucking do this. We could find another way. So we kind of stand before, like, just like with Prime, you got different endings. So if they try to fight Lutheria, she pulls them through the portal, and then they got to fight this 4-stage Lutheria boss with her fucking Ultra Nether Dragon. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna win that one, honestly. Maybe if we just have like everyone show up like a fucking Smash Bros game to try to help, like that could work. I don't know. Maybe if Scotric shows up and makes them all magically level 20, like that could work. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. But this would be a very difficult, if not impossible, scenario for them to confront her, and then she's like a 4-stage fucking boss. Like, I just don't see it happening. This is a gorgeous map. I would love to like reveal this map and be like, here you go. Here's the fight. Right? No items, Fox. Yeah, Lutheria, we're here to bargain. We're gonna have a Smash Bros tournament. Yeah, so like I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they'd grind through it. Like, I think they could maybe take the first 3 forms, maybe. Depends. Depends on how much psychic damage they could deal. She is weak to psychic in like every form. So like I don't know. Right? But yeah, I don't know. So this could be tonight's session. Is this insane ass fight against these different Lutherias? Could be. Or we head over to, they decide to kill Thylea. 0% chance. 0% chance that they're going to kill Thylea. I know that Prime, for whatever reason, was like, maybe we should kill Thylea, and I was like, god damn. You guys think you're in a JRPG? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, what did she do to you? She's a fucking old lady who's taking a nap. They're like, nah, she ruined our lives. She ruined our lives. It's like, I mean, I wanted you to feel that way, but I didn't think anybody would actually take the bait. I mean, holy shit. But yeah, if they decide to fight Thylea, they certainly can. Yeah, maybe if Lutheria wins and kills them all, she'll have a change of heart and not kill Thylea. I can see that. Okay, I see what you're saying, Red. Like, maybe their refusal to give up. Oh, shit. That's pretty good. Let me see. Heart of Thylea. Where is our Heart of Thylea? Alright, that's Heart of Thylea. But where's the actress for Heart of Thylea? Ah, there it is. Actor. Thylea. Thylea the Gemstone. Alright. So, I thought I did all my prep earlier, but I guess I didn't. Oh well. Let's see. So if they try to fight Thylea, I mean, they can. They'll just destroy the world. I think that they need to have all the information before they go forward. So, like, I am thinking that, like, as an aside, like, before they roll, maybe they get, like, pulled aside, and then they just get it all sort of laid out for them, like, the situation here. Could work. Could be a thing. We'll have to see. I mean, we gotta make a decision quick, because we're playing at 8 minutes. If they do try to kill her, I mean, they gotta fight fucking Kentamane. This is like the 1600 health big boy Kentamane. This ain't a joke. You know what I mean? Like, this would be absolutely bonkers. Now, they'd have the benefit of fighting Kentamane and Thylea alongside Lutheria, but I see it like 0%. There's a 0% chance. So then if they decide, or if they're able to convince Thylea that, or sorry, if they're able to convince Lutheria that we can help Thylea, we don't have to kill Thylea, they would go here to Mount Orthos, which is not really Mount Orthos. It's just like her dream of Mount Orthos. I don't know why these fireballs are still going off after all these years. It's kind of weird. So we got this dude. He's absolutely beast, but they could bring Lutheria with them, face this guy together. Then if they defeat him, they go to the second phase, which is the Deepest Dreaming. And then they fight his true form, and it's not really Kronos at all. It's just some really powerful nightmare that is out here, yeah, trying to, I don't know, just make life miserable for everybody. Let's see, display bar, hit points. Why don't you have any health, dude? Kronos, hunger without end. Yeah. Resources. Hit points. Show me your hit points. Oh, it's just that small? Oh shit, my bad. Alright. So, like, that would be a thing. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, that's what Prime did, and I felt like, I honestly thought it was a weird flex for Prime. I did think Prime was going to go in a more violent direction. I don't know what happened to Prime that, like, calmed their shit down. Maybe it was Anna. Maybe Anastasia did it. Maybe Anna finally got through to everybody to calm their shit down. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like Anna doesn't, I mean, based on everything that happened, I feel like Anna still resents that Lutheria got away with it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, here's the truth. Like, Lutheria is a bad person. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's had bad things happen to her. But it doesn't stop the fact that, like, she's a bad person. Like, she's evil. I dare say, like, irredeemably evil. So, is it really, like, the hero route to, like, spare her? To unleash her into the multiverse? To set her free on the rest of the world, you know, the worlds? I don't know. That'd be a tough decision. I guess it would depend on what kind of character I was playing. If I was playing like an old school, like, good is good, bad is bad, we won't compromise, I think I would push my group to try and fight Lutheria to the death. I don't know. If I was playing that kind of character. But these are the kind of characters that sat down and had a cannibal dinner with an evil dryad because they wanted to find another way, right? They're always looking to find a better way and another way. And I was very surprised that Prime kind of took a play out of Mythic's book, because I, again, did not expect Prime to end the way that it did. I was very happy with how it ended, but I didn't expect it. Oh, okay. That's... I'm sorry, Dirty Sakura. That's rough. Let's see. So, we didn't talk about stakes. What happens when these guys die? We've got 4 minutes. What happens when they die? I don't know. They made a deal with death, and dying seems to happen pretty easily, but they always seem to kind of bounce back. tough call. Tough call. And then, again, there's the what about pulling them aside? What about having that moment in time to sort of talk and discuss and see what their options are as they stand at the absolute precipice? I feel like we definitely deserve that. You definitely need that. So, I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot to figure out in 3 minutes. Yeah. Oh, I love that. That'd be pretty fun. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Oh, man. Dang, Red. Yeah, you're so good at coming up with this stuff. All right, let's see. Yeah, we got a Kabir Nasir. We could do that. All right, that's a good idea. That's how we'll start the session. Is right as those words are uttered, but before we discover what the words are, she appears. She got Lotus. Lotus is under arrest. She's kind of like, you guys are under arrest too. This has gone on long enough. Like you went way off script. Can't have this anymore. I dig it. Whew. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and throw up all over my keyboard, and then I will, let's see. We'll raid Major Snood. Ugh, man. Can't believe it. It's almost over. One way or the other. All right. Let's see. Speaking of games that are almost over, we might be having our final session of Sunset tomorrow night. So that's pretty exciting. And yeah, my other games I think have probably 5 or 6 sessions left in the tank. And then we won't be starting any new games until January, February. So yeah. Hope everybody has a good night. And I'll see you next time.